What's happening, fellas? Feast your eyes on this classic Yamaha DT. Things like a little billy goat off-road in first gear. It's got a creeper gear. You can climb up the side of your house. This has just been mechanically restored by Jeff Castine, the Manic Mechanic. 4,100 original miles, original paint, classic. What a kick-ass bike. Street legal enduro. Ride this thing anywhere. Ride it to the beach. Want to bring it up top and go over the work order? Good bike toss on this one. What's happening, fellas? Everything came up roses on this one, so I thought I'd bring you over by the rose bushes I planted here 10 years ago. They're doing great. So isn't that little tree I planted over there? Pay no attention to the $8 million project I have over here that I don't have the money to finish. And let's focus on this DT175. This is a classic enduro Yamaha 1974, one of the last years of the steel tank. This is original factory blue. This can only be described of as a labor of love because we've got a ridiculous amount of work into this thing. We had to draw a line in the sand somewhere, and we're selling it as she sits right now. You can take it to the next level or leave it exactly like it is. 28 hours of labor later, she's all cleaned up and ready to go. The Manic Mechanic had a personal crusade with this one to get it running perfectly. So he took it completely apart, took the front wheel off, the rear wheel off, the forks off, the chain and sprockets, and went right through the whole thing. Cleaned up the whole front wheel, put a new tire on it, new tube, dismantled the forks, completely rebuild the forks, put new fork seals in it, new fork oil. Same thing on the rear end, pulled the rear wheel off, and did the new rear tire on the back, new tube. You can see it's got a new chain on it. That was the easy part. Then he got into the motor. It's completely dismantled the engine, took the whole top end off of it, took the exhaust off of it, and discovered it needed a new piston. It had the original piston with 4,000 miles on it. So he took the top end completely apart. I forgot to mention, not only the chain, but new front and rear sprockets. That's a gold 425 chain. Had problem getting spark with it, so it needed to have the stator plate rebuilt. So he sent the stator plate to Rick's Electric, had them shipped it out, shipped it back, completely rebuilt the stator plate and a new stator plate coils. That was $300 alone. Then he took the top end. Obviously, the top end was apart. He bored it out, put a new Wiseco piston and ring set in there, new base gasket, new head gasket, rebuilt the carburetor, put a new air filter on it, completely rebuilt the whole top end of the motor, new wrist pin, bearing,
Actually, it was sent to Rick's Electric twice because the first time it wasn't within factory specs, so he sent it back. There's an outrageous amount of time into this bike.
Yeah, we've got a ridiculous amount of time. Just sometimes things don't go that well, and I guess it didn't with the stator. We had to have it done twice, but he took the gas tank off, bicarbonate sodium blasted the inside of the gas tank, cleaned that all out, put a new fuel petcock on it, new fuel line and filter, rebuilt the carb. The top end's been rebuilt. He took the exhaust off, wire wheeled it, and painted it with a high temperature black paint. Put a new air filter on it, new points and condensers, and put some VP non-ethanol fuel in there, fired it up, and tuned it to perfection. It runs great, runs like a new bike. So that was it for Jeff. It needs a new headlight bulb. He said the sealed beam needs to be replaced, and so the headlight and taillight are not working right now. But like I said, we needed to get it ready for the auction coming up this week. This is one of 181 bikes we had to prep, and Jeff had been working on it on and off for a few weeks, so we had to draw a line in the sand. He had a total of with him in the detail shop, total of 28 hours labor plus parts. The invoice came to $3,497, which is a lot. But hey, if you bought a bike to us not running, you needed an engine rebuild, new stator, carb rebuild, and everything I said, it's 28 hours labor. The bike was also steam cleaned, degreased. They painted the frame, painted the swing arm, painted the front and rear fenders, painted the headlight bucket and the mounting ears, which is a pain in the ass. You got to dismantle the whole front end to do that. The gauge mounts were painted, the hubs were painted. They polished the spokes and the rims. Those are the original rims and spokes. Cleaned and polished those. The engine side covers were polished. The headlight ring was polished. As you can see, the chrome on that's nice. All the hardware was cleaned up on it. They buffed and polished the gas tank, the original paint on it. Touched up the tank and side covers in a couple spots where it was bare metal because the paint had chipped off. So it's not perfect, but it's an original paint survivor that is really a paint job away from being, you know, absolutely gorgeous. There's also a rip in the seat. Things not perfect, but we had to draw a line in the sand because this, you know, we also purchased the bike too. So on top of the $3,500 invoice is the purchase price and shipping and everything else. So we're selling it as she is, which is ready to rumble. It's ready for a summer of fun. Needs nothing mechanically to go out and ride. If you want to get it street legal, you have to put a headlight, fix the lights on it, and you're good to go. It does have the ignition key. The levers are in nice condition. These are the original bars. It also has a really cool factory chrome rack on the back here. The original taillight is in good condition. That has never been looped over. The fender is nice and straight. The exhaust system, the muffler is nice and straight. Original shocks. There is a small flat spot in the side of the pipe right here. It's got a little ding in the pipe. Couple of nicks in the paint job. Like I said, the little rip on the seat. It's not perfect, but it's mechanically excellent and ready to go. One of the things I'd like to add is when you have a brand new top end on a bike like this, 175, which is really a good compromise between the 125, 250, and 500. The top end, there's no piston slap, and it has a lot of torque. A 175 two-stroke has as much torque usually as a 300 or a 350 four-stroke. So it pulls, even though it's a 175, it pulls real nice. It's got plenty of power, even at 220 pounds. It'll get up and go. You can ride it on the road, you can ride it on the trail, you can take it to the beach, bring it to the campground, whatever you want to do. It even has the original grips on it. Zoom in on the gauges, Kenny. These are the original, almost 50-year-old. They're 48-year-old factory gauges with 4,000 miles on them. So everything's in nice condition here. The bolts aren't all rusted out, and a lot of time their chrome is missing by the time they're this old. But this is all original chrome. It's got a little patina. Like I said, she ain't perfect, but she's pretty damn nice, and all the heavy lifting's been done. The electrical stator's been completely rewound, new coils on the stator, top end's rebuilt, new tires, chains, and sprockets. It's pretty much just like if you got it from the Yamaha. It runs and rides just like when you got it from the Yamaha dealer 50 years ago. So I would leave it original paint just the way it is and enjoy it. If you want to change the color or do whatever, that's your prerogative. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, give us a call at 860-454-7024. Hey, Wiz! Check this out. This may be the nicest 89 stock CR500 we've ever had. This thing's absolutely beautiful. What a stunning piece. This is the one that's got like 2 hours on it, right?
This is brand new, like it just came out of a box.
You want to bring it down to Ronnie? Let him put Instagram on it.
Yeah, we should.
Just make sure you tell him it's what you said to us.
Okay.
All right. That's a beautiful piece. When this one came in, this is the one Junior wanted to keep, right?
Blood red.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, back to the Yamaha here. That's a straight up race bike right there. Probably the fastest two-stroke stock motor ever made. Anyways, back to the 175. I had one of these when I was a kid. I had a 175 Yamaha DT. Mine was a newer model, the monoshock of 79, like 5 years newer. I rode the freaking wheels off that thing everywhere on the street. Just a hoot, a lot of fun. Once you get the light working, you can ride it at night. Just a kick-ass time capsule of a motorcycle. If you have any questions about it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.